God works all things for good. A real-life testimony from one Bible verse, SW. When I lost my job, my marriage, and my home within the same year, I remember shouting at the ceiling, "Where are you, God?" And then the verse came uninvited, haunting almost. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him. I didn't believe it, not then. My name is Rachel. I had what you might call a picture-perfect life, so it looked from the outside. Married to my college sweetheart, managing a successful career in marketing, and living in a charming home with white shutters and a lemon tree out front. Then 2020 hit. The world paused, but my life unraveled. First came the layoffs, budget cuts, they said. My team gone, my role obsolete. At first, I told myself it was temporary. I updated my resume, polished my LinkedIn, and reassured my husband it's going to be fine. But it wasn't. 3 months in, the pressure started showing. Bills stacked higher than hope. My husband became distant. Arguments grew sharper. One morning, he packed a bag and simply said, "I need something else." The day the divorce papers arrived, I sat on my porch, sobbing, clutching my Bible like a lifeline. Though I hadn't opened it in weeks, I asked God for a sign, for a reason, for a sliver of mercy. Instead, the bank called about foreclosure. I was drowning. And that's when Romans 8:28 kept showing up. On a mug someone gifted me. In a sermon I didn't mean to hear. On a social media post that felt too perfectly timed. In all things, God works for the good. ... I wanted to throw something, because what good could possibly come from this? I ended up renting a small apartment over a garage, barely big enough for a couch and a coffee table. But it had one thing my old house didn't: silence. And in that silence, God finally had my full attention. I started journaling again. Just raw prayers, at first no structure, no spiritual filter. God, I'm angry, I'm tired, I don't see a future. But slowly, the words changed. One night, I wrote, "God, I don't need answers, I just need you." That was the turning point. I joined a local church that hosted a Tuesday night group for people in transition job loss, grief, divorce. We shared our wounds without shame. I met people who were walking through even darker valleys and still praising God. One woman named Carla lost her son, but spoke of heaven with such certainty it gave me chills. Another, Marcus, had survived cancer and said it was in the chemo room that I truly met Jesus. They didn't say Romans 8:28 like a slogan. They lived it. I realized then God's good isn't always comfort. Sometimes it's character. Sometimes it's clarity. Sometimes it's a redirection so profound you only recognize the mercy in hindsight. A few months later, a friend told me about a nonprofit that needed help with marketing and organization, supporting battered women trying to rebuild their lives. I wasn't ready to work, I thought. But something stirred. I showed up for the interview and shared my story, unfiltered. They hired me on the spot. Every day now, I sit across from women who feel forgotten. I get to remind them, God sees you. He hasn't left you. You're not ruined, you're being rewritten. And me, I still live in that garage apartment. But it's no longer just a roof, it's a sacred space. A reminder that rock bottom isn't the end when Jesus meets you there. Romans 8:28 isn't a magic fix, but it is a promise. One I've learned to cling to, not because life makes sense, but because God is still good when nothing else is. All things don't become good, but in His hands, all things can be used for good. I'm living proof of that. Share this if you believe God still writes the best stories.